there, this is Angie Zimmerman, the Wedding Flower Diva. You can visit my website at www.doityourselfweddingflowerguide.com. Again, I realize you can't see my face, but the most important thing for you to see is what I'm going to do, which is going to be a holiday centerpiece. So I've already created one, and I will show you what that looks like when we're towards the end. I'm going to go ahead and create this particular centerpiece and let you watch everything that I do. But keep in mind that in order to get this into a format that can be uploaded to the internet, I have to somewhat limit what I can show you because I only get 12 minutes. Actually, it's 10 minutes. So this is called Ting Ting. You can buy this in your floral supply store or in a craft type store like a Michael's type store. And this happens to be a gold glittered Ting Ting, which I think for the holidays is very appropriate. So I'm just going to add a few pieces of this, and this will give some height to the centerpiece, and I think the gold makes it very festive. The next thing I'm going to do is start what I call greening my centerpieces, which is literally adding my greens. And again, I have everything kind of ready to go like at a cooking show. I'm using this amber colored vase, and because I'm using the amber colored vase, I'm able to put a piece of floral foam inside. And trust me, floral foam is your friend. It will help you control where the flowers go, how they stand. In other words, you can make them stand straight as opposed to flopping over. You can put them in a specific place and know that they aren't going to wander anywhere, where when you're just working in a vase, that's not always the case. It's a little trickier to get your flowers to stay where you want them to stay. So whenever I can use floral foam, I do. And what I'm doing right now, again, is called greening. And typically what you're trying to do or accomplish with your greening is to cover up your mechanics. And in this case, the mechanic is the floral foam. We don't want anybody to see that. And you don't want anybody to see the tape that I used that's holding the floral foam in place. And I like to use a variety of greenery. So I've got various types of pine and cedar, and this is some eucalyptus. And I've got some blue spruce, and I even have some Nandino. It's also, I can't remember what is that called, bamboo. So it's from the bamboo plant, and I've also got some bamboo berries that I'm going to use. And we won't add the berries until the very end. But again, keep in mind that what you're trying to accomplish with your greening is to cover up your mechanics. So like I said, I've got a variety of types of greenery here. This is a spruce, and be careful, this is really spiky. If I could wear gloves and design, I would, but I can't, so I'm doing the best I can not to hurt myself. But some of these are really, really just sharp, like needle-like blades, so be very careful when you're doing this. And this is going to be what, again, I call a 360 degree, so you want to be able to see it from all angles, all the way around. Ouch. So I'm turning it as I'm designing to make sure that I'm covering everything and that it's going to have sort of a round look to it. And you'll see when we start adding flowers, it's the same concept. You want to make sure that you've got flowers all the way around so that no matter which direction you're looking at it from, it looks good. And that's not always the case when you're designing. Sometimes you're doing just a one-sided where you want only to be able to see one side. This one's really, really, really thorny. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's the blue spruce. Ouch. I think I want to put this big piece of blue spruce right in the center. Ow, ow, ow. And again, as you're doing this, make sure that you use your variety of greenery so that when you look at this, you kind of have bits and pieces all the way around. You don't have just one type all in one place. Although that is a design style that you can choose to do. I'm just choosing not to do that for this particular style or this particular arrangement. Okay, so I'm going to start adding my flowers. And the first thing I'm going to do is put in my green spider mums. And again, because I'm trying to make sure that this is a round centerpiece, I'm going to put 3 flowers basically in the front and and 2 in the back. And I want to have one tucked down kind of low because that's considered your focal flower. And your eyes will follow where the flowers are located. So it's also in floral terms called movement. That you know, by the way you put your flowers into the arrangement, it causes your eye to move around. So I'm going to put them at 3 different levels in 3 different places. Like I said, kind of in the front. I'm going to use this tallest one that's not quite open as much up here, and it'll sort of become our center flower. And then I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to add 2 more in the back. And I'm going to do one more tucked down low so that there's a focal flower in the back as well. And then I'm going to do one more medium one. And because I'm trying to make sure that it's in a different place than what you can see in the front, I'm going to put it over here on the right, but take it down just a little bit lower so that none of these flowers are at the exact same height. Okay, then what I'm going to do is add roses, and I'm going to do 12 red roses. Obviously, this is a holiday centerpiece, so we're doing the red and the green colors. And I'm just going to fill these roses in all around. So some down on the sides and the front, some will be up tall. But essentially, I'm going to make now with the roses more of a round, filled-in look. And I'm telling you, you're going to love floral foam if you haven't already worked with it. It's really your friend. You also want to make sure that your flowers are never at the same height, even when you're using different types of flowers. So what I'm trying to say is none of these red roses will be at the exact same height as any of the green spider mums. In the other centerpiece, which is very similar to this, I didn't use the gold ting ting. Instead, I used bronze manzanita. So that will be able to, you can see how you can use different varieties of things, and it still works. Ouch. So turn this, I'm going to see if there's a flower needed anywhere, and I believe there is one needed right over here. Okay, now I'm going to add in some berries. And these red berries are actually from that Nandino plant, which is a bamboo. It's actually very common in a lot of landscape, but it's a real pretty berry. And I'm using these taller pieces in the center, and then I'm going to use smaller pieces off to the side. And I have these all cut and cleaned and processed so that it makes the design videotaping portion go faster. Kind of like the cooking show where they have all your spices already weighed and measured out and just sitting in little bowls ready to go. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, we're going to add a couple more berries. And we are done. I just broke that one. Okay, won't be using that. A longer piece. Oops. Okay, so here's our completed centerpiece. So it doesn't really matter which side you're looking at, it looks like a finished centerpiece all the way around. So this was actually the back side when I started. That was intended to be the back side, and this is the front side. And the only reason I can tell you that I know that for sure is because I said I was putting 3 flowers in the front.